we left our jobs and moved here with the intention of opening an ice cream brand. Like, that was not at all in the picture.
But what was the point you decided that it's going to be an ice cream?
Why the name Chunkology?
And a lot of people say it doesn't count, but 100%
It does.
it does. But I was getting orders for like 75 tubs, so you can imagine. I literally made everything by myself. Our ice cream is on the premium side. I can't deny that.
People travel for food.
People do travel for food.
People go to other countries for food.
Oh, we've been there together.
But it definitely did help. My husband was there, especially when it comes to like the trade license, and you have to go to the Panchayat office and do some.
It's nice to not know the unknown, Has gotten out a very great outcome.
You would be shocked. And this, I could do a whole other podcast on this specifically.
Hi guys, I'm Ishita.
And I'm Kanishka.
And welcome to
Drop the Filter.
Hello.
And today with us we have Dhara. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, so I am Dhara. I am originally from London. I moved to Bangalore in January 2022, so almost 4 years ago. And I own an ice cream brand called Chunkology. So we're a premium handcrafted ice cream brand. At the moment, we have one store based in Yelahanka, but we're looking to expand very fast now. So, exciting times.
Yes, that is very exciting.
Yeah.
So, what was that moment for you? Like, obviously, I'm going to talk about Chunkology, but why did you shift from a place where you were born and brought up, that is London? So, was it for the business that you wanted to start in India, and why was it Bangalore?
Good question. So I'm from London, born and raised. I studied there, worked there. I was in corporate, and I actually met my husband when I was in university. So he's from Bangalore, and he came to the UK for uni, and then we met, and we were both working together, doing corporate. Like, we were both in management.
Oh, you both were in the same company?
Not the same company, different companies, but both in London.
Okay.
So we were working, everything was fine. I think there's always a possibility that we would move to Bangalore eventually, but it was like not even a concrete plan and something way in the future. And then COVID happened, and I think COVID really gave a lot of people time to think and time to question, okay, what am I doing with my life? Am I just climbing up the corporate ladder, waiting for, something to happen? And it was at that point where he just wanted to be closer to home, closer to his family. And so he asked if I would move with him. And I'm very laid back. So I was just like, yeah, whatever, why not? Like, I never questioned it. I was like, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And the intention was always for us to do something of our own here, because I don't think it makes sense to leave corporate in London and join our corporate in Bangalore. So
that was my question, because I'm like, why would you leave a job?
Yeah. And I've heard that the work culture here is quite intense and quite different to what you would get
I
from.
just told you.
Yeah, in London. Yes, you did. So, our plan was that we would start something of our own, but we didn't know exactly what that would be. So it was never that, we left our jobs and moved here with the intention of opening an ice cream brand. Like, that was not at all in the picture. But at that point, he was like, I just want to be home. I want to be close to my mom, my dad. So we just shifted.
That's
very cute.
Yeah.
I feel like you are right. It is very difficult to make the decision of moving here, but you said that it was pretty easy for you. I think that comes with who you are also, and based on what you see your future to be, I think.
Potentially, yes. I think, I'm quite adaptable, so
that's a good thing. That's a very great trait to have. Yes.
But I think it was also a question of the longer we stayed there, like, the more embedded you get. Like, we were thinking of buying a house. We were thinking of, okay, should we get married? Should we have kids? And then it was just, if we're ever going to take the risk, it has to be now when we're still in our 20s. Before you have so many responsibilities, because it just gets harder and harder. And like, we were climbing the corporate ladder, but to what
And
if our end goal was not to stay in that life, like it didn't make sense for us to just stay
Correct.
there for the sake of
how are you liking Bangalore so
I
much?
love it. Like
Really?
I'm
You love
so
South Indian
happy.
food?
Yes, I am a sucker for like dosas.
Oh my god, I love that.
That is like my ultimate favorite.
Yeah. But do you ever like I'm not gonna say regret, that's a stronger word, but do you ever feel like you'd like to go back to London? Maybe in the earlier stage, I'm not sure now.
I think, to be honest, I think there were points when my husband was like, "Oh, should we go back?" And I was like,
No, I don't want to go back.
absolutely not, because I didn't realize until I left, and this is such a small thing, but the weather in London is so terrible.
Yeah.
And it's just grey all the time and raining and gloomy. And I didn't realize until I moved here and it's like sunny 24/7 how much it affected my mental health.
Yes.
So that was
Wow.
one thing. And the other thing is the culture here is just so much nicer.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, it is.
I think London
People
and
are rude,
even,
no?
yeah, so
They won't ban me, no? From London, never to come.
I think people have this perception of the UK and the US as being something like shiny and glossy and exciting.
Yes.
But when you're there and you're working all the time, like it is nice. But I feel like where I was, even though my job was nice, my team was nice, like I didn't have any issues with that. It was just like you're living to work and you're working to live. Like there's no social life. There's no like close family, friends hanging out. Like it's a bit of a colder culture. You don't have the same kind of support.
That is very true, because I think even like you said, both those places, they come from a culture where it's each to their own.
Yes.
So
it's literally that.
even if you find Indians there, like I went for a trip to London recently, and you know, like people not very often want to even, I think I don't want to say it in a negative way, but it came out in a way that when they see Indians, here if you see any random person, you'd smile.
Yes.
If they're smiling at you, right?
Yeah.
You'll just smile and you'll
Say hi.
yeah. Like I don't know if people will say hi, but
We just like
they'll
smile.
just smile. Like there will be like a small, you know, like a small conversation without talking that happens. I don't think people do that there.
No. It's the opposite. Like, especially in the mornings, like we were just talking about how it's morning people. If you take the train in the morning, it's like you talk and you will get death glares from every direction. Like,
I've seen like on Instagram, like fights. Even if a person is talking on like the train, they like people shout like it's literally like 6 a.m. in the morning and you're like, shut up.
And I honestly, there are certain things I love about the US and the UK. There are a lot of things that I love. Like we spoke about the work culture. That's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, the
really nice. I think it's also the value of work, the labor work, that value for labor. Everything is really on the high end, which I absolutely love.
Yes.
And not gonna lie, once in a while, I do enjoy being on the more like alone side of it. I think it can be a little too loud sometimes, and I'm not saying like noise wise, but I'm just saying people wise.
Yes.
There are too many people, you know. It's a very small world. You go anywhere, it's gonna be like streamlined.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very subjective thing at the end of the day, like, you know, choosing between these two. But I'm happy that it worked out for you.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like it's very nice. But what was the point you decided that it's gonna be an ice cream company?
And that I'm gonna add on that why the name Chunkology, because it's a very unique name for like all of us.
Yes. It's a made up word. So
exactly.
It doesn't exist. So okay. So ice cream is my favorite food. And a lot of people say it doesn't count, but 100%
it does.
It does.
It does.
Like, there's ice cream and coffee, like my two favorite things in the world when I'm sad or something. That's all like.
Yeah.
And in particular, there's a brand called Ben & Jerry's, which is that very chunky, like indulgent type of ice cream. So that you get it's a US brand. Okay. It's widely available in the UK also.
Most favorite brand ever.
Oh, you have to try us now.
Yes, I will.
I hope nothing other brands.
Yeah, no, but I love that brand.
Even I love it. Yeah. So when I moved to Bangalore, I wasn't able to find it because it's not really here. And if it's here, it's like 1,500 rupees.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
It's
insane.
2,500.
Oh, yeah.
Recently, I went to one of these premium grocery stores and I saw it and I saw my flavor. And I'm just like, which is, I have two, one, the brownie one.
Yes.
And I also love the berries, the blueberries or even like the strawberries, all that whole. But I also love double. Okay, I like all the flavors. Point being, I saw 2-3 flavors that I really like, and I'm like, might as well just pick 2-3 or something. Why not? There were small tubs, and then I flipped it. It was 2,500, and then I went back. I'm like, wait, didn't I pay like $4 back then? Didn't I pay like £6 there? This is not. I can't spend 2,500 on that tub. So I had to sacrifice that craving at that moment. I said, no issues. I will live without it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, dude. I'm not going to spend 2,500 rupees on it.
So that's exactly what I went through, except when you said, I can't live without it, I was like, I'll just make it myself. And so that's genuinely how it started. So I have no background in culinary. Like, I was working in corporate. So
the food.
when I was, so when I was a teenager, like, time passed, I would bake for my friends some brownies and cookies and whatever. But I was never like professional, just as a, like, just for fun. And I think my husband also was so sick of me complaining that I can't get good ice cream. And so I was like, okay, well, can it really be that hard? So I just Googled like how to make ice cream. And I was like, okay, it's not that many ingredients. And then I went to Amazon and I saw you can get like a mini ice cream maker for 4K, which is like less than 2 tubs of vinegar.
Yeah.
So I was like,
a lifetime
unlimited ice cream hack. So so I bought that machine, and this was, I think, March of 2023. Feb 2023, I think. So like 1 year after I came here. And I got the machine, I started experimenting, and it was like not good. Like, it wasn't coming out well. And I tried a few different times. I tried for a couple of months. Like, I was trying to refine my recipe, trying to get something that I was like, oh, this is good. But I didn't quite get there. And then I think towards April or May, I just got busy and then I left it. And then in November, one day, my husband and I were just driving and he was like, why did you leave it? Like, why didn't you start? Because you were getting close to perfecting it. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll give it another shot. And I don't know what happened, but this time it just like clicked. Like, I got one flavor and it just came out so well. And then I was like, so this was a flavor called Brew Me Away, and it's like a mocha ice cream with chocolate covered roasted almonds and chocolate cake crumble in it.
Wow.
And
so
that was, I think, one of the recipes where on the first go, I was like, this is actually good. And I'm not the kind of person who would ever gas myself up or hype myself up. Yes. But I gave it to a lot of friends and family to try. And they really liked it. And then my husband was like, okay, you should maybe try selling it in our apartment. So we lived in quite a big apartment complex. And as I just said, like, I'm very underconfident. And so I was always just telling him, like, no, what if they don't like it? And he's saying to me, okay, well, what's the worst thing that will happen? If someone doesn't like it, they're just not going to order again. They're not going to bang your door down and throw the ice cream in your face. Like, they'll know you're just starting out. It's a home business, something. So I started selling. And by that point, I had, I think, 4 or 5 flavors that I'd worked out. And it just like did really well to the point where I was getting more orders than I could make because my machine was so tiny. And then I think in Jan or Feb, so after about 2 months, I bought a commercial ice cream machine and we kept it in our flat itself. Like, one room of our flat, we just turned into an ice cream factory.
Wow.
And so, and so I was making everything there. I was selling like 250 ml tubs.
Oh my God, that's a big thing.
It was, and it just like, I don't know, I think part of it was the demand because I wouldn't do it so, like, it wasn't available all the time. It was like every couple of weeks I'd be like,
so were you making all those batches by yourself?
Yes, I was.
Like,
so did you bring it based on did you make it based on orders or you
I made it based on freshly made.
So how long did it take for you to make
oh God, a long time.
Yeah, because ice
Yeah.
cream is a long, tiring
Ice
process.
cream is a long process, so you have to make it the day before and age it overnight, so everything like
Churn
mixes
it,
together.
right?
Yeah, so then the second day
Yeah.
you churn it,
Churn it again.
Yeah.
and then that has to freeze, which takes another day because at that point I just had a
I've seen
small
Master
freezer.
So
Chef.
you like 2-3 days.
So it's like a 3-day process.
Yeah.
And the problem was my machine, like the kind of machine it was, meant I could only make like 4 250 ml boxes, so 1 liter of ice cream at a time. Before I had to put that machine back in the freezer, and then the next day after 24 hours I can make like another 4. But I was getting orders for like 75 tubs, so you can imagine that it was a lot.
Hectic.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it was so fun.
It was. I think that boosted your confidence.
Yeah, it did.
More orders,
did.
more like that.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to do this.
Yeah, and people, like, I didn't even ask them, but people would send me, like, feedback and they would share their reviews and they'd be like, oh my God, this is so nice.
Love it.
And so that was really nice and it kind of gave me that validation. But then we were still thinking of, like, okay, now what? Like, it's not sustainable to sell from your apartment forever. It's like an MVP. Like, you test it, you get the feedback, you make the changes. And I was, like, listening, like, they wanted more coffee flavor. So I did, like, a filter coffee ice cream because it's Bangalore and guys are just, like, obsessed with filter coffee.
Yes.
So, like, they'd be like, oh, can we get a fruity flavor? So they would give me
The flavor,
suggestions and I would try and work something out. And so, yeah, then after a couple of months, it was just, okay, do we like go down a cloud kitchen route? Do we do pop-ups? Do we do catering? Like, what do we do now? Like, we have a good concept. And one day I went to meet my friend for coffee at this place called Empire-Dhara, which is in Yelahanka. And it's like this outdoor courtyard space.
Okay.
It's very like European. It's a lot of independent boutiques, and then you have a cafe, a restaurant, and like it's like a very away from the city, serene kind of place. And my friend was late, so I was just there with my husband. He was waiting with me. And we saw one shop and they had a sign on the window saying they're looking for an ice cream brand. And
what are the
he was like, just give them a call.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, but they won't want me. They'll want like some big name. Like, who am I? I'm just Chunkology from my apartment. Like, even then I was still like doubting what I was doing. And then he's like, again, what's the worst that will happen? If they say no, they say no, it's fine. Just call. And so I called them and it turned out that they were not looking for a big brand. They were looking for someone who was doing something different and who was, like something more premium, something handcrafted, because that's the concept of the whole place. They want independent boutique, high quality brands. And so it was just a really good fit.
It just worked out. Like, it was like,
it just worked out and it was perfect because for me, it's my first time opening an ice cream store. Like, I was making tubs of ice cream, but I'd never made like a full tray of ice cream. So I also didn't know what I was doing. But this place, like, during the weekdays, it's quite quiet. It's a very weekend spot. Like, you go for a Sunday brunch or a Saturday dinner. But during the week, it's quite quiet. But that's exactly what I needed because I was like, that will give me time to figure everything out. Yeah, because it's also learning for me. Like, I had no idea what I was doing or how to do it. And so I didn't even think too much. Like, we just took the space and we started. And you asked about Chunkology, like what the name is. So the concept of my ice cream is that they are all like chunky ice creams because for me, when I eat ice cream that doesn't have anything in it, I'm like, wait, it's missing something. Like, where are the chunks? Like, I want to eat something.
Yeah, I relate to
what I do is like, not me now, I'm working out, but I used to have quality walls, vanilla tub in my house at every time, like every point. Like, there are like empty boxes piled up, and my mom, regretting it a lot right now, but at all times, because at that time I was preparing for one of my exams, and I like 4 months I was off everything, and I'm like at it. So like my go-to used to be that ice cream, but what I used to do is, now if I have marigold biscuit at home,
Yes.
I'll probably like
Yes.
take a scoop out. Put marigold. If I'll have strawberries, I'll chop strawberries and I'll add like chocolate sauce.
Yeah.
Like, ganache and things like that. And that's what I eat. Like, I could eat the vanilla plain, but not like after 2 bites.
It's not.
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing going on. Like,
Yeah.
you need something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you are dealing with a ice cream brand, that too in India, you already know there are a lot of companies who have such big names in our country.
Yes.
And I don't want to name them, but they've been in this industry like for 40, 50 years. How did you have that I wouldn't say competition, obviously, but that to get into this field first, and second, what is your difference, your thing of your brand that is different from the other ice cream brands in India right now?
So yeah, I think it is a saturated market. Like, you are right. There's a lot of ice cream brands, very established ones.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of them are quite mass market, which is not a bad thing. Like, they're catering to everyone. But there's also, on the flip side of that, the way the ice cream is made is made in a way to cut costs, to increase profitability.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that when I moved here and I was eating all of this ice cream, I was like, yeah, it's nice, but I was missing that. Like, I just love stuff that's like good quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, once in a while, if you tell me, I also want to have like an ice cream with the, like, we just had ice cream.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think I have a flavor. I'll tell you in the end. But yeah.
Yeah, like, even me, like, I love a corner house, for example. Like, I love it. I will go any day for a cake fudge.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just want something that has, like,
flavor, premium.
Right, and the chunks.
Exactly. And the chunks.
Which you don't get. And so, in Bangalore, you also have a lot of gelato shops.
Yes, a lot.
But even the way that the gelato is made is very different from the way that we do it. So, typically in the gelato space, for example, you will find a lot of places that use like a concentrated flavor paste to just flavor the ice cream. They might add colorings. Because if you made something like a pistachio, naturally a pistachio would be like a brownish green color.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're going to walk into a gelato shop and you'll see something that's neon green.
Exactly.
So you know that they are adding
color.
Most likely they're adding color to it. And I feel like, okay, ice cream is anyway an indulgent thing, but let's try and make it a little bit better, like a little bit less artificial.
Yeah.
And so a lot of my ice creams are inspired more by US brands, whereas gelato is very Italian. I've taken a lot of inspiration from the US, where they have all of these brands where they really focus on making everything themselves from scratch. Like, you just don't outsource and buy like ready-made brownies and cut it and put it. Like, we make it ourselves. Like, our caramel sauce, we make it ourselves. Our hot fudge sauce, we make it ourselves. So we can control the quality of the ingredients.
Yes.
And that also does obviously come with a cost.
Exactly.
So our ice cream is on the premium side. I can't deny that. But I feel like there are people who are looking for that. And I feel like in Bangalore, even since I've moved here, like 4 years ago, I've seen a lot more premium brands coming into the market, and people are appreciating like what you get from that. So I think the market is saturated more towards that segment. Whereas in Bangalore, off the top of my head, I think there are maybe 4 or 5 places that I would put in my category. So it's not so saturated on this side yet. And I think there is still room for more players to enter this segment. But now hopefully we can get like an early foothold and
I also feel
start
like
establishing.
Talking about premium, I think when people really trust a premium brand, they do want to have a good taste or like the quality and the quantity. So when you talk about that, so that does come up with a good, like, the investment that you put in, like, as you told, everything that you make is like by you.
Yes.
Like the caramel sauce, even the fudge, the brownie, everything is so obviously you are investing your own money in that.
Yes.
That makes sense. And are you the only one who's
preparing everything, or are you hiring people? And also, if you are, was it easy to trust people with what you do?
So it I started by making everything myself. So our store opened in August and last year, 2024.
Okay.
And actually when we opened, the staff that we had planned to have join us to help with like the initial ice cream making for the first week just like disappeared. So I literally made everything by myself. My husband would come with me to the store and he'd be like washing dishes and mopping the floor. Our friends would come and they would help me like cut the ingredients. So it really took a village, but I'm so thankful they were there.
I get emotional when I hear such things. I'm like, people helping each other.
It was really hard. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I did not sleep for those first 2 weeks. My feet were like throbbing at the end of every day. I would go at 7 o'clock in the morning. I would come back at 11 p.m. because there's just so much to do and I was doing it by myself. And then we did hire people. So we hired 2 people, Priya and Ravi. So anyone who goes to Chunkology will know them because they are there every single day. And so for the first, I would say 6 months or so, I was making every single ice cream by myself because I am also very possessive.
Yeah.
As a person, I really struggle to delegate, like even to my husband who's running this with me. Like I will not ask for help. I will just take everything and be like, oh no, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this.
And also like, what if they get the flavor a little wrong?
Yeah.
When you're
there's that trust thing because I'm like, oh, they don't know. But then one day I was in the kitchen and I was making ice cream and I was like, I just cannot, like, this is not sustainable for me. Like, I can't scale. Like, this is not a one-man operation. Like, it's not possible for me to scale. And so I started training my staff also. So now we make it together. So they're superstars. Like, they are really, really good at what they do.
How many people are there in your team?
So it's me and my husband. We have one girl who does our social media and then we have 2 staff in our store. So we are a very small team.
But
I have so much trust in them and I think it's really important. Like I would like to say we have a very good relationship, like my staff and I. So it goes like both ways. Like, you treat them well, they treat you well. Like we respect each other. Yeah, it's a two-way thing. And I think they're really happy doing what they're doing and I know I can rely on them and I think staffing is something that's really difficult normally. So
I think it's probably one of the most important decisions you make for your company or your brand because you're giving your trust in the hand of people who might not have the same dreams and aspirations for it in the start like you do.
Right? That too in this food and food industry, it's very important to have a staff that you trust because it's like you're feeding people food.
Like if one wrong thing, it is like
that is true. Yeah, that's also the 100% you have to follow like these standards. But I think I'm lucky because my staff have been there with me from the beginning. And they've seen our brand grow and they also get to like share in the success and they're also so proud. Like we had a reel that went viral recently. I think that's the one you saw when you messaged. So we got like 500,000 views on that. And I sent to them and I was like, look, this happened. And they were so happy and they were like, they know our customers because they're there all the time. So they were telling me like, oh, this weekend it's like all new people and they're loving the ice cream and they're saying this and they're saying that. And it's really nice. We get to share in the success.
Yeah, I think that's what gives you that more validation, confidence to keep growing, right? So what are your plans on expanding and what are the marketing fronts that you are looking at building your loyal customers? Because as of now, your store's in Yelahanka. And thank you. You said it. I would have had to kill myself.
Like she was just going to say no offense before you only
said.
Like
It's
another country.
Yes.
It is really far from the city.
Yeah.
And right now, I also think it's a very, honestly, I don't know how many people stay there, but I think it's as compared to the entire city,
it's not dense.
Exactly. So over there, I mean, you'll have loyal customers, but how are you planning to grow and expand the number of loyal customers?
Yeah, so we are lucky. We have a lot of loyal customers. We're not even in Yelahanka. We're like 20 minutes inside of Yelahanka. So
Oh my God.
it's in this place called Avlahali. So one nice thing about the space we're in is that, as I mentioned, it's a courtyard. Like, it's a nice day out. So people come for brunch. They spend the whole day, like, you have coffee, you do some shopping, like, you have an ice cream or two, and then like you're there for like a good few hours. So that's nice. But yeah, marketing is really hard because we're just so far away. And I think if you're a restaurant or a cafe, it's easier to pull people because you know that, like, okay, you'll be there for like a good 2 hours. You'll have a lot of different things like starters and mains. Like, there's a new bar opening like every week in Bangalore.
Yeah.
So, right. So they pull people in with their ambiance or their aesthetic or their menu. Whereas for us, it's just ice cream. Like, who wants to travel 2 hours to eat one ice cream? Like, it's not.
But I think
simple.
it's people travel for food.
People do travel for food.
People go to other countries for food. I'm planning a trip with my friends right now, and we found a post that said that the location we're going was probably the 7th best country for food, and that's the exciting part about the trip.
Yeah.
So I think with whatever marketing strategy you have, I think you can probably get to people from this side of Bangalore to that side.
It's not even this side. Like, people. So Jinvara also doesn't heavily market itself. So people, even in Yelahanka and Jakur and Hennur, like this north side, they don't even know that it exists. So I think for us, like, one thing that's worked really well, our Google reviews are really, really good. And I think people see us on maps now that we have like a good number of reviews, and they come because of that. The reel that I mentioned, like, that drove a lot of people to our store, and hopefully, like, once they try it, they'll come back.
Yes, 100%.
But I think ultimately, beyond social media, we just need to be more central, and so that's my end goal for not end goal, but next goal. For expansion, to get more city center, because I think we have a product that works and people love, but it's just not accessible, and it's ice cream, so it doesn't even travel. It's not like brownies or cakes or something where you can send it by porter to JP. Like, even my ice creams that I bought here, I put like 10 ice packs, it's still like a little soft. So that's, I think we just have to bring ourselves to the city. So that's our plan.
I'm waiting now.
But I think people are very open to the idea of trying one, like, if they see one good review, one good word of mouth, one good reel, like you mentioned, I think that's all it takes.
I think it's for all of us. Like, you have a brand, even you, if you see a reel that's like, oh my God, people are going, it's here, you would love to go there.
If I see a coffee shop, I'll send it to my friends and be like,
let's go here, like, how is it? And obviously your location of your, the ice cream is in a courtyard, so people are going to be attracted to the
ambience.
Exactly.
I think people now crave for very mellowed down.
That's the vibe.
This is exactly where it is. Like,
exactly.
It's such a nice, peaceful vibe. Like,
really.
I feel lucky that our store is there, because when I'm there, I'm like, this is just such a nice place to be. So it's really nice.
I think there's also a place called Courtyard in Double Road.
Yes, I know.
Which has a similar vibe, and there are small things.
Zero clue.
Yeah, we've been there together.
That's where Sabko.
Yes.
Like,
we've been there together. Sorry.
Anyways, but I think that's the vibe, right? I think everyone just wants to sit down and calm.
Okay. Also, you don't come up. You're not from like a business background. You were in a corporate job. So how did you figure out vendors? Like, I wouldn't say vendors, but like, you have to get like a food license, the
FSSAI.
I'm so sorry. Guys, I don't know. And like registration of your company. That's a long process. How did you figure that out?
Yeah, and also, adding to that, I think we just worked with a couple women entrepreneurs. I know that you're working with your husbands. It could have been, I'm not gonna say it like that, but I think it would have been slightly easier.
Yeah, 100%.
Because
he's from here and he speaks Kannada and I don't. So when
also because he's a man.
Yes.
right?
Because
Yes.
Because the woman, no, but it is true. Like the women entrepreneurs that came in, they had to pretend like they're working for their fathers. They had to pretend like they're working with their husbands when they might not even they're not even married probably. They, all of them who we've spoken to until now, face that issue as a woman. So how did things become easier for you? And going ahead with what she said.
Yeah, it was actually one of the hardest parts, which I didn't expect, was figuring out all of this stuff. And like the licenses are one thing, and that actually wasn't so hard because we found an accountant and he would help us with like the license and things like that. But it definitely did help. My husband was there, especially when it comes to like the trade license, and you have to go to the panchayat office and do some shady. I mean, this is just the way
it works everywhere.
Yeah. So that was okay. For me, I really struggled to like even find suppliers, and coming from, firstly, not from this country. Secondly, not from this industry, and not having any contacts in the food space. I didn't even know where I should buy things from. And in India, it's even harder because I feel like not a lot of it is online. Like it's very unorganized. You have India Mart, which I think was probably the only place I could go, because if I was in the UK, for example, I wanted packaging, I would just Google like packaging suppliers. And you would find like reviews, you would find the products, you would find the pricing.
I think with India, there are a lot of people doing everything.
Yes.
But no one is out there, because I think here everybody follows very traditional ways of working, right?
Yeah, I know.
So I think recently people have started putting themselves out on Google. It's very recent these days. And when I say recent, like 5-6 years down the lane. But it's very recent, the whole idea of being on Google.
Online.
Getting Google reviews.
Yes.
Understanding the concept of being on the apps, like being digitally available to your customers, whichever company you are. So I get what you're saying.
But it's not even that. It's like, there are so many suppliers where I found them and I'm trying to like give them my business and they just don't respond. Like it's like you're begging them to take your money and you're like, please give me something. And I don't know if it's like a language thing, because as I mentioned, I don't speak Kannada, and Hindi I can understand, but I struggle to speak it.
No, but I think the accent
and I'm a woman, and I feel like they just
the odds were just
it's the sad reality. Like they just don't really take you seriously.
They don't actually
take you seriously. Like, they're like on a very they don't.
And
no, I'm talking about when all of these factors. Like women not knowing Kannada, like. Honestly, both of us also don't know Kannada. Like, I know Kannada only as much as I can travel.
Yeah, same. Like, I can, like, manage in an auto.
Exactly. Like, maybe, like, 10% more than that. Like, I can explain something to someone. Like, because I've been born and brought up here.
Yeah.
So, even after that, that's how much Kannada I know is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So, that's not something, like, it's just an issue because they just don't, like, for example, if you come with, like any place in India, there are so many languages, and to keep up with all the languages wherever you go is a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, true.
And because there are so many localites in every place, it's the expectations that they come with.
Yeah.
That everyone will know it, and if they don't, you can either scam them or just not take them seriously.
Correct.
That's true. And as a woman, I don't know why.
And it's not even dealing with vendors. I think sometimes even like you're in a business meeting. And I really notice this sometimes that like I'll be there trying to talk and I'll be talking to my husband. And I'm like,
and they'll be trying to like
explain things to me.
Like interrupt you properly like while you're speaking, and that's just very common in our society.
It's very true, because I remember going for this breakfast brunch with two of my guy friends. We'd gone, and my one of my best friends, he just looked at me and he said, let's just do something for fun. And I said, okay, tell me like what's the thing? And he said, okay, fine, we're done with our meal, you ask him for the bill. I said, dude, please, why are you making me do this? He said, just ask. I said, okay, I'll ask. I asked him, can you we're done with our food, can you please get us a check? He's come with a check and he's given it to my friend.
Oh my
And I was just like,
and that's a very
So I was in shock. And he's like, this is what I was trying. I said, this is not fun.
Yeah.
Where is the fun part? I was supposed to be happy after.
Yeah.
But he said, but that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, this is how people work.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh God. This is just, I'm asking, like, here, it's just a check. Like, it's not that complicated, right?
Yeah.
He just had to give that sheet to me.
Yeah.
I could have been the
This
one
is like
paying.
a small amount. Like for like a
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying.
It's
This is
big,
such a
big
small
amounts.
thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that.
Like, it hasn't been like that bad also. I'm just like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah,
You do notice like these
and
small.
it's a small,
Yeah.
and it's not that they
Yeah.
do it intentionally.
Yeah.
It's
It
just
is
like
how everyone's mind has
Correct.
been.
yeah.
That's the flow of the mind. And I'm not saying it's right because it's not intentional. I'm just saying that it's just very, like, no, I'm not, it's a sort of like a muscle memory, you know, it's a very reflex
Yeah.
that they have.
Yeah. They just don't really think of it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
I think it's once in a while it's nice to speak up, you know, like not in terms of like we don't have to go fight, guys, but we can just, you know, like make a point probably.
True. I think it also depends who your audience is and who you're like
True, maybe.
the market that you're catering to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I faced a little bit, not like it's crazy amounts, but
You're not gonna face it anymore.
hopefully it will change.
Yes,
I think India in general
think,
is just
yeah.
more of a patriarchal.
It
It
is.
is. It is.
It is. It is.
It is very
And
much.
hopefully, I'm not going to say it's going to become completely the opposite, but probably we take on equality as equality
Yeah.
and not just say it because we want to say it,
Yeah.
you know? I think right now everyone is saying it that, you know, we're an equal place and
Mm.
at very stupid conversations.
Yes.
I think equality was just like dropped like, okay, so who wants to eat the cake? You know?
God.
Like I'm just saying things like it's just dropped at random
Sure.
situations where it doesn't need to be dropped.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's taking it in the literal sense of
Yeah.
what it's supposed to mean when you talk about equality. And I think, I don't know if y'all have seen this one video of Priyanka Chopra, and she talks about equality in a way. And that video, every time I come across it, I think it's a 1 minute, 2 minute video, I won't
She's
be able to
explaining
keep it.
the feminism
Yes.
perspective
Yes,
about
yes.
equality.
And she says, oh my God, you've got this completely wrong. Let me come.
Yeah.
I have my heart in it. I'm just like, dude, that's so well put.
Yes.
Because equality is not that we want to fight or it's not a fight.
It's
right?
not a fight. No, it's not a fight.
It shouldn't be a fight.
It
It's
should
more
just
about
be like, hey, I'm on the same level. as
exactly,
you.
and shouldn't be judged for it. Like
Yes.
if X is a man and he's the CEO,
Mm.
and if you are also running for the CEO, you should be accepted too.
Yes.
That's the idea. Don't look down upon the fact that now you're a CEO, so how are you going to... But I also think that people don't see this in a very different way. Because I feel like in the men's side of it, it's just expected to do that.
Yeah.
Right?
I also, I'm gonna cut you on that, but I also feel the social media does play a very big role because recently I saw a video. There was this one woman who became a big Japan's I don't know, like prime minister, but they like, oh, Japan changed the whole perspective. There's a women now. Like, you could just tell there's a new president. Like, why did you mention like,
See?
oh my God, there's a, that's the issue.
Yeah.
It all starts, and I'm like, you don't have to mention women.
Sure.
And
It is just a normal thing.
Yeah.
What are your
Sorry.
2 or 3 goals that you have for your brand in the upcoming, like maybe like 5 years?
Someone asked me this recently, and I was like, I'm just so focused on the now and like the next that my head is not even going to 5 years.
Yeah.
But
I would love to be like one of these institutions in Bangalore where people know, okay, Chunkology. If you want good ice cream, go to Chunkology, and we should have like
Go to
stores
Chunkology.
across the please come.
And also, have you ever faced like a big setback while doing this business?
like one of the setbacks that you
Setbacks?
remember that you overcame.
And what have you learned from it? Because I feel in starting your own business, not coming from a business background is very tough, and you obviously have no knowledge. So obviously there are a lot of challenges that you go through. So any challenge that you have gone through and you have learned like a lesson from it that you want to tell people if they want to start their own business?
I don't know if there's been like one specific challenge. I think if you are looking to start your own thing, my advice would be just don't overthink it. Like, don't get so bogged down in the details. And like, of course, it's important to know, okay, is it a good idea? Is it going to work? But just start, like, start small, but just start. Like, I did not start Chunkology with the intention of making it a business. I was like, I just love ice cream. I'm just going to start making it. And it spiraled from there. And I think there's a lot of people who are in that same position where they have a passion or they have an interest and they're thinking like, oh, I want to open a coffee shop, or I want to open a bakery, or I want to open an ice cream store. But like, they just don't know how to start. And I don't think it's, especially with these types of things and the internet and like all of the resources out there, you also don't have to wait to take a course or wait to like do some formal training. If you're interested, like, there's enough out there, you can just go and start learning yourself and just try and figure it out. And there's so many people, entrepreneurs, that are sharing their story online, that are talking about how they built up, you know, their brands and everything. I think there's a lot you can learn.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of knowledge that's available. It's just, you need to figure out which one's right.
You need to have the interest.
Yeah, I think passion and intent and interest.
Yeah, like when I started to learn to make ice cream, as I said, I didn't take any course. I just learned with like a lot of recipe books, YouTube videos. There's like a Reddit sub for ice cream making, which was amazing. And so I was self-taught, but then also on the flip side of that, I think I also have some kind of imposter syndrome because I haven't learned it in a formal way. And I feel like, okay, well, am I missing something? Could it be better?
Do you feel people will like, I wouldn't say judge, but like, do you feel if people might be like, oh, she hasn't gotten like any professional trainings and then she's in this business, do you feel like
do you feel the need to get a certificate to prove what you're
doing? No, I don't. But at the same time,
I think for yourself,
but then
yourself, you feel like doing it?
I don't know. It's a really difficult one. So I actually did go once to a gelato making course in Bangalore, in JP, and they had a gelato chef. And they were talking about, you know, their gelato university and how they made gelatos. And I was sitting, it was only like a 2 or 3 hour workshop. And I was sitting through that, and everything they did was so different to how I make my ice creams that on one hand, I was like, but wait, is my way of doing it wrong? But then on the other hand, I was like, it's actually good that I haven't learned this way because it lets me do things in a completely different way.
Yeah, be different.
And yeah, then we get the products that people love, because if everyone learns to make it in the same way, there's not going to be much
unique
variation.
Yeah.
So I think part of not knowing what I'm doing has meant that I can do something different. But then I still, to this day, even though I know people love our ice creams, our customers love our ice cream, if someone's like a gelato chef and they want to come to my store and they want to try it, I'm just like, oh my God, like, will you like it? And yeah, sometimes they come and they're like, oh, well, you know, this could be better if you used like this flavor paste, or if you added this thing to it, like an artificial flavoring. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but this is not my brand. Like, I would, this is not what I want to do. Like, it's not the authentic type of ice cream that I want to make. And I think the way it's done in India is just very different to what I see being done in the US or the UK, for example. And so I'm just trying to, it's like a constant thing of trying to tell myself, like, no, it's okay. Like, you are obviously doing something right because people are loving it. So don't overthink it too much, but you still always have that doubt in you.
Yeah, you do. But I think it's also, like you said, you just need to fight it yourself, because at some point there are going to be people who's, like we discussed, have those certificates and those things to prove that what they're doing it right. But I think figuring it out on your own way without anyone's rule book sometimes. It's nice to not know the unknown, you know?
Yeah, it's nice to not, like, you don't know what you don't know, and you just kind of figure it out.
And you can stick to it. And it's also very difficult to shift back, because all of those stages has gotten out a very great outcome.
Yes.
How do you correct it based on someone? Let's just forget that person or is a well certified and a very experienced ice cream maker, I guess. Is
Yeah,
everything.
maybe. Yeah, or like a chef even.
Chef,
chef,
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think in your heart, you know you're doing
What
what
I
you
love.
want to do.
Yeah, I'm doing what I want to do, and, if
And there are
love
people
it, that's
liking it.
great.
So,
I
yeah.
feel she's making her own rule book and her own
Yeah, like
cookbook.
probably maybe
Yes.
exactly what I'm coming to. Probably maybe down the lane you will have your own cookbook.
You never know.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like my husband says, like, what's the worst that will happen? It just if I mess something up, like it's just one tray of ice cream, we can fix it. It's okay.
Definitely.
And I love that support. I think you need whoever it is, that one support always takes you
Yes.
a long way.
Yeah, it really does.
Imagine
Like-
he never told you like what will happen. You would have never sent
Then
those
that ice cream.
to your apartment.
Yeah.
I think that's also very great. I wanted to bring it up at that time itself because
Yeah.
a lot of people, I was having a conversation a couple days ago where we were talking about a lot of people start from ground zero and they reach 5 and they're feeling stuck.
Yes.
So they're just stuck.
Yeah.
And they think about it a couple, let's say days or months later, and they said, oh shit, we need to start from the start again. The mistake that people do is go back to 0.
Yes.
We forget that we're already at the 5.
Yeah, you need to
How about we go figure out how to go ahead
Up front.
instead of coming here and then coming here and then going up?
Yeah.
So I think that's the push that you got, and you decided to go from 5 to 10.
Really, yeah. And yeah, without the support, I wouldn't even have picked it back up. Like after I dropped it the first time, if it wasn't,
Because
I wouldn't have picked it up. If he hadn't said, why don't you try the store? Like I wouldn't have done it. So yeah, you do need someone to push you.
whoever it is.
Whether it's like your best friend, like you guys are doing this together.
Yeah.
That's so nice. Like I'm sure you are also pushing each other to
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
yeah.
Every day. I think what we've discovered is that you really love living in Bangalore, right? But what's that one mindset or one thing that you got with yourself and are still practicing here from the UK, or something that you'd want probably from the business POV and you'd want young entrepreneurs who are starting a brand who could take up from it?
I think just don't be afraid to think outside the box. And not in a bad way. I think it's really good for the Indian education system. Like I've seen from my husband, when you're in school, it's like a lot of memorizing and like rote learning. Whereas for us, it was very
practical.
Yeah, very practical, like apply what you've learned. And I think that has helped a lot, as I mentioned, to not do things like the typical way and not be afraid to like experiment a bit and do things that are not correct potentially. So yeah,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I think coming to the closing segment, I do have a very rapid fire drop the filter moment question for you.
Okay.
What is that one myth you want to break about the food industry?
In India.
Yeah.
No.
In our country.
You would be shocked. And this, I could do a whole other podcast on this specifically.
Please come back.
Oh my God. I went to an ice cream exhibition in Delhi, and the things I saw, and I'm specifically only talking about ice cream, the things I saw on what actually goes into these commercial ice creams was shocking. Like for me personally, I knew a little bit about it. I didn't know to like the extent to which it goes in. I see. I think a lot of places do it, as I said, because it's affordable. But you can get like pre-mixed ice cream where you just add water and you can churn it in ice cream. God. As I mentioned, there are so many just colorings, flavorings, pastes, and just things which you wouldn't expect to go into your ice cream. You have things like whey protein. So I met this store where they had whey protein, and I was like, oh, this is so cool. Is it so that you can make high protein ice cream? Because that seems like a great idea. And they were like, no, it's used as like a thickener or a bulking agent in mass produced ice cream because it's cheaper. So they add, and it's not to give you protein. It's not like an added bonus. It's just there to thicken the consistency of the ice cream. The types of sugars, the types of ingredients that go into it. Like, it was an eye opener for me as someone who makes ice cream. my husband, like, he knows what goes into our ice cream, and I've told him, like, why we're different.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this was his first time seeing it. And even he was just, like, in disbelief. And he was like, okay, now I get what you do differently. And yeah, for me, like, the instant ice cream thing, I was just, like, baffled. I was like, imagine, and you can taste it, and they make it look so nice. Like, when it's in the display counter, it literally looks like, it looks so appealing. Like, they put all the sauces and the toppings, but then you eat it, and you can taste the wateriness, or the synthetic is very, very much
I've actually had an instant ice cream.
Yeah.
And tell by the experience, guys, it's horrible.
Yes, so...
Yeah,
for me, it was like, just be careful about what you're eating. And at least, like, the retail ones, they have to list all of the ingredients on the thing. Which, I say all of this, but I also love, like, a cornetto. So, I'll eat, like, a quality rolls also.
Yeah.
Which may be hypocritical, but, like, it's still, it's, you know, sometimes you just want that.
Yeah, it's like you love a kurkure, but you wouldn't want to know what goes in the
exactly, like, ignorance is bliss sometimes.
And then when you do, you're just like,
oh my god,
I'm really going to, but yeah, on some days you will be.
Yeah, so
sort of.
I think for me that was just one, like, huge revelation.
Yeah, I think probably in a food business or any kind of business, one should go to an exhibition to know what actually happened and what you want to do different, probably.
Yeah, but also, like, do you want to know? Because I feel like you just never eat. You'd be like on a paleo diet after.
Don't go, please.
Everything,
guys. Sorry, we said that.
Free ice cream, but maybe not well.
Only go to Chunkology.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's a very...
I think that's a very great note to get.
Shocking note.
Actually, I think that's a very shocking note. But it gets us to the end of our episode. Thank you so much for coming. It's been great. We've learned a lot about ice creams, which we never thought we were going to have a conversation about, but it's been great.
Yeah, and also I want to, before we end, we both tried like 5 flavors of ice cream.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. I think I'm in sugar rush still. But I'm going to tell you my favorite one. What is it called?
The Volcano.
Yeah.
Well, you said favorite for every
single
one she tried. She's like, this is my favorite. The last one you tried was the Volcano. So that's like a malt ice cream with gooey brownie chunks, mocha ripple, and Milo crumble. I love the watering that.
Yeah, I think I love all 2, but I think strawberry cream with the butter cookies.
And baked biscuit from
biscuit. Oh, sorry. I don't know how she remembers what goes in every ice cream. Everything.
Imagine she doesn't remember that. But oh my god.
Point is that there are 5 things going in one. Yeah. And then she was repeating everything to us. That I was just like, I will not remember, but it was really tasty.
Yes, so you all should go
to Chunkology, and we'll see you all next Friday.
Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Yes.
Yeah, we're very happy that you ended up coming here.
I just give a flying kiss for fun.